Greetings, and today is the very first, real video of the new year, not including the gameplay from yesterday. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Christmas and a new year. I was just having fun with, with my family, with some friends, of course, just going out. So I didn't really get a chance to do like sort of a Gwent related video. So, now I'm back, so I'm finally able to do this once again, because after the holidays, now I'm back at work, back to regular scheduling. Anyway, so today I have a Radeyah monsters deck for you guys. The thing with a deck like this is monsters is like at the bottom, if not second from the bottom. Actually second from the bottom after Syndicate, let's be honest. So today is monsters, Radeyah, Force of Nature. I just thought I'd throw in a somewhat decent monsters deck together. It's tough, actually. It is very tough because one of the monster's strengths is being able to summon very large units, and it just gets completely destroyed by status Nilfgaard. So I thought best way to sort of compensate for that is to make a sort of, Radeyah version. I did originally have Shoop in here because I needed an artifact destroyer, and the reason why you could work with Shoop is because monsters, the 4 costs for monsters are still very strong. Like you got the Indrega eggs with so this can literally be 7 for 4, which is crazy. You got Bruxa, which is a very reliable Thrive unit. You got Knife Wraith, who can summon 4 rats pretty much. So again, another 7 for 4 potentially. You got Necro Warrior, again, natural selection, good for that removal. Noon Wraith is just pretty powerful. Your opponents probably, I don't know, they're not even gonna want to target this because there's just other engines for monsters that are just gonna work well with it. So I just thought I, throw this deck together, have some fun with it. Of course, definitely changes could be made for this. Even with the ability, Force of Nature, it gets destroyed obviously by big removal cards like Geralt of Rivia, Leo Bonhart, Igni, even Reset. Reset just completely destroys it. So honestly, you could get away with maybe using Carapace, but the thing is, it is 16 provisions. Going all the way down to 11 for the fruits might be a little bit costly. So I kind of just went with the Force of Nature just because why not, right? So it all revolves, it's a Radeyah deck, so it doesn't really revolve around anything. It's just, I'm just sort of throwing the strength of monsters together and putting it into a deck like this. So obviously we got Royal Decree and Naglfar, in which, all honesty, when you guys see the game that's coming up after this, you don't need them both. You could honestly get rid of Royal Decree because I think this deck can thin well enough that Royal Decree is not so necessary. You can get away with a cheaper cost card and go stronger with one of your lower cost cards. So that's just how powerful I think this deck can become. Of course, like I said, against the meta decks, maybe not the best choice because it is monsters. It is at the near bottom of the barrel for a reason. It just gets countered by a lot of what the meta decks sort of run nowadays. Like for example, status Nilfgaard, even Swarm Elves, because they have engines, and this doesn't generate too many engines. I mean, they do have, again, they have the Thrive units, and there is a couple of Death Wish in there. But in all honesty, the Swarm might just be just a tad bit too much for this. So anyway, I got Eghern. Eghern is usually sort of a first round card to be played because obviously you want him to be set up for Osril, but again, it could get countered by the resets and by the heavy damaging cards. So usually you want this in a situation where you get the last say. The thing that's always been consistent with monsters is that they're very strong in the short round, so that's not so bad. So if you get last say and you only have 3 cards left and Osril is one of them, you get Eghern, which is perfect. Another thing is Assimilate Nilfgaard is also a thing, so if they are able to bribery your Osril and take your Eghern, you are done. Your Osril is not gonna have that big of a target unless you can get Goliath or Pugo Boombreaker to the graveyard. But even then, the cost of Eghern, in terms of power, is just really powerful. So you want to make sure that you're the one that gets this, even if it means that you have to play Osril relatively early, which is a risk, I'm telling you. But it might not be so bad. Next you got Katakan, very powerful Thrive unit. Opponents wouldn't really want to target this unless they use it with a lock, of course. But again, destroying it, probably not the best idea because they can summon an Ekimara both on deploy and on Death Wish, which is pretty nice. You got Mata. Again, it's kind of the reason why you don't need both Spirit or Royal Decree and Naglfar, which is kind of the mistake I made there. So, like I said, these kinds of decks I make aren't perfect, but I kind of made them all up. I kind of made them all, and just for the fun of it, I thought I'd try it out and just to test, right? So better versions of this deck are definitely going to exist out there. So it's just a matter of how you plan on you know, changing the deck to fit your strengths and your needs and stuff like that. So, going down the line, Osrul, of course, you got Goliath, always a very reliable 10 power card. Usually you want to play this game, play this card, sorry, if your opponent passes and you need to play with a card. Usually 10 points, not hard to overcome, especially if you combine it with Thrive units. So you're essentially playing like 13 points between Goliath and the Thrive units. Toad Prince, it's good to have because if your opponent has like very strong engines but are weak in power, then Toad Prince can destroy them. This thing can eat up Redanian archers, although they don't really see much play anymore. They can eat Redanian knights. Those actually do see some play still. So there's still some valuable engines for Toad Prince to destroy. You got the 7 costs, of course. Now, the Penitent here, the risk is you can summon the Beast as opposed to Pugo Boombreaker, which obviously you want to summon Boombreaker instead because you do not want to have this thing's ability off by damaging a unit by 3. You do not want to risk destroying one of your Thrive unit cards if it comes down to it. So if you can draw the Beast out, or just risk the 50-50. Honestly, either or is okay because the Beast is a pretty powerful engine. It does generate points for you, which is actually pretty powerful. So, and considering that it's a monsters deck, this thing's ability will almost always go off every turn. So, it's not so bad. Like, you know, I don't think there are any other 7 costs that are worth to summon out from the deck other than these 2. Unless, of course, you're running a pure Death Wish deck. The rest is kind of like your standard Thrive / Death Wish. I did add a pillar in there for Purify, you know, just sort of that 1 counter against status Nilfgaard. It will slow them down a tad bit, but it's not going to slow them down that much, just because of the amount of status that they have at their disposal. But honestly, like, if you can slow them down to the best of your ability, especially considering that it's not a desirable deck to play against with a deck like this, yeah, so it's good to have a Purify in there. You could also get away with a Queen of the Night, but I thought that was just a tad bit too expensive, although she does have the option of giving forward to the enemy. She's literally like the polar opposite of Ida from scoia'tael. So I kind of just went with the cheaper Purify unit just because I think that, you know, it's only 1 less in power, but it's 2 less in provision, so it's like, you know, it's a decent enough trade-off. And the rest is like, you know, you have your Thrive units and the Drowner, and Driga Larva, Necro Warrior, Bruxa. So obviously you do not have as many Thrive units as you would in a dedicated monsters deck, but it is Radeyah. Chances are you'd probably... the thing is, you use Radeyah for the neutral stratagem. If you use it for the regular stratagem, your Death Wish really is gonna come probably from your Penitent, which might not be so bad in case, like, if you want both Pugo and the Beast to come out. That's not a big deal, actually. That's actually pretty good. It thins out your deck twice. So yeah, she still has some purpose. But yeah, like, in terms of Death Wish, maybe a bit tougher to, you know, pull it off in sort of a combo, because this is sort of the best target you can do with the stratagem, so you want to be a bit careful when it comes to this. And then you got your usual consume units with the Barghest. You got the Endriga Warrior. Endriga Warrior is a very powerful and cheap consume unit, so you definitely want to have at least one in any deck that has Death Wish or cards that need to be consumed. And Drowner is good for that move. Like, honestly, cards that let you move units, because you notice that a lot of like the really powerful cards are sort of roll locked. So, you know, having a Drowner to sort of prevent them from going off, like, again, Trebuchet from the Northern Realms, this is a good card to counter it. Any card that lets you move does it, but with monsters, it's kind of rare that they have a card that does that, so that's what makes this very, very valuable. Not to mention it damages them by 2, so it's like a 5 for 4, not to mention you're canceling out an engine, which could potentially be like 3+ points more valuable, so this is actually pretty good to have. So you're only going to see 1 game happen with this card, because I'm going to start actually implementing a couple of edits into the game, so you might see like maybe 1 or 2 pretty good edits. There were some misplays. I'm not going to tell you who it was done by, but I'll show you. Maybe, I think it's just 1 edit, but it's a pretty decent one. So that's sort of the deck list breakdown for this. Obviously, this deck can be perfected, so if you guys have any sort of suggestions on how to make this deck better, I wouldn't mind if you guys leave it down in the comment section below. I'll definitely have a read at those, and I'll see you guys at the gameplay. This is probably a pure assimilate deck. If it's gonna have the status, I am gonna keep Pelor behind. I do need a couple of Thrive units though, so these 2 will have to do. Other than that, I think the rest of this hand is pretty solid. Like, honestly, Mata, I think, is gonna draw like Royal Decree, because I think that's the only 10 cost I have left in my deck. Yeah, which, in all honesty, is not so bad considering how big monsters get. So I'm not gonna lie, I like this hand. So my starting point will probably be no, it can't be the Bruxa. It might have to be Katakon, really. I could even start with Eghern, but I can see how that would, like, you know, mess me up in some ways. Actually, would it? Honestly, just doing that to avoid the assassinate hit on my Katakon. Even then, it's not so bad because, like I said, it summons another Ekamara, so it's not a big deal. But we'll see what. Ooh, a portal. Interesting. Fuck. Right. Okay. I'm not sure if you. Oh my goodness. I think this is gonna be an edit for sure. Like, that's one of the things I want to improve with my videos is I want to start adding edits now. Oh my goodness, I can't believe this just happened. This was pretty funny, actually.
That is what you folk like.
I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, it's like, what the heck, right? Maybe he read it as like summon 2 units with 4 power, maybe instead of 4 provision cost. I don't know if he misread that. So that either means that he has no 4 provision costs, or like maybe he wasn't aware that. I don't know. That was funny. This is gonna get edit. Maybe I put the noon right here. Yeah. He can destroy it if he wishes, but again, there's like, I honestly don't mind. Art Feign like, is this a soldier deck? It's really targeting his Eghern. I mean, it makes sense. It's the only way he's gonna get leverage, so he can go ahead with it. But yeah, no, this was good. This was good.
No message.
Okay. I want to keep my Endriga Warrior because I do want to but the thing is, I'm so far ahead in points. Honestly, I feel like it would take him 3 cards just to be able to catch up in points. But it's at the same time, it's like, I mean, he would have to definitely use very powerful cards. So even if he is able to beat me, it's gonna take like really strong cards. Oh, he's just passing? Oh, okay. Like, against a standard Nilfgaard status deck, like, obviously this deck's not going to be that strong because we know the capabilities of Nilfgaard being able to just outright destroy our units. So now my Mata would actually draw Old Spear Tip. Oh yeah, Old Spear Tip is also 10. I keep thinking it's 9. I kind of don't think he has status, so I actually will get rid of Pellar. Yeah, and I go for Here's not bad. Like, I can really push him if I wanted to. Which I think is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna push him. Like, and obviously, like, this deck is not complete, so, but like, oh, old gear. This is a new one. Does Nilfgaard have any self-inflicting effects? I don't recall. So if I can get my Endriga Warrior off here, I'm gonna get like a massive power boost, but I have no idea what this one's about. Like, usually Skellig is the one that has the self-damage. Oh, he's gonna get some pretty good... Oh, if he gets Osriel, I'm done. I'm gonna have to... Actually, no, I'm gonna be okay. Wait, you have duplicates though. Okay, I guess that was the best he could have gotten.
For you, a very special item I have. A surprise.
Your deck has duplicates, buddy. Sorry. Shit, yeah, that's not bad.
What is it now?
Well, I don't know. It could have been better, I think. Oh yeah, there's more than one 7 cost. Ah, that's right. That's right. See, that's what I said, right? Like, this deck's not perfect. And monsters is sort of at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to, like, you know, the deck standing. So it's like, I wanted to try and make a decent enough monster deck, you know, for use at least, right? And I'm just testing it out for you guys, so, you know. Any changes you guys see, definitely make them. Or, you know, if you guys have any sort of suggestions, definitely let me know. Like, it'd be pretty great. At this point, I'm using Royal Decree for, like, one of these. Oh, I have a Toad Prince. Oh, right, I do have a Toad Prince. But that's not gonna matter, because these are all very powerful. This was a 3. Oh, I could have eaten him. That's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I want to draw Mata, just to get out the Spear Tip. And then, oh, but I have 2 draws. This is the thing, I don't think, like, another edit you can make is you can take off Royal Decree. Again, I'm just so gung-ho about having deck fin, is that I always make sure these are in my hand, even though it's, like, not the best situation to be in, you know? So, I will play Mata.
This dance, you will never forget.
I know I'm not generating a lot of points either, but it's like, I'm also trying to see, like, what's the best case scenario, like, to draw my hand from, right? Because I'm thinking of maybe using Royal Decree to maybe summon I should have done it already, but that's okay. Damien.
I'll defend the Duquesa to my dying breath.
I can't destroy that. Yeah. That's okay. I think I'll pass then. Because it's either he goes on even, or he goes down a card and uses Damien's ability, you know? Yeah, so he has to go down a card. That's what that means. Oh yeah, that's right, he had to go down a card anyway because my beast was generating power. Wait, is he using his hero power already? Oh wow. This guy's just like... he's bold. I mean, he has to play a card. So I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. Like, I don't think his deck is bad. I mean, having Olgierd, not sure. But yeah, I think he just set himself up here. Like, he set himself up. This is tough. Maybe he's a newbie too. Like a new player. I don't blame. Or maybe he's trying to pull off like 1,000 IQ plays. And if he does, congrats. Natural Selection I think I'll keep. Okay, I want to get rid of a gold because I have 2 cards that I can use to get out gold cards. And I have a Toad Prince which I can use to eat something. So, Old Spear Tip can go. I don't need Peller. Not good. That's okay. I don't think he has... Okay. At least he made the good play of playing Nilfgaardian Knight first. That is the right move to play. He could have Stefan Skellen into Bribery, but I feel like his deck is very expensive. You got a 13, you got a 10, I think Damien is 11. Yeah, so you have a very expensive deck, so... As long as I can keep him in check, I should be okay. An emissary. Okay, that's fine. Royal Decree might have to be for the Endrega. Oh no, I have an Endrega egg though. That's why I might use it on a Bargus, but at the same time I need that power boost. So I think it's better than the Endrega Larva. I know it's not a lot, but it's like, I'm pretty, I'm ahead in terms of hand draw and stuff, so. The only bad news is, not because I did that to myself, like, I can only use one of these 2. So, that's the only bad news with this, so. I think that's okay though, it's not a big deal. Good luck, yeah. And that's also why I was okay with not using... a Toad Prince, because I don't think he has any units with 3 or less power anymore. I think it was just the Alba Spearman. Oh, I guess in the Imperial Brigade. But I think this is fine. Double lock. You should lock one of my larvas. Don't DC on me. Okay. Oh no, I want to play this out. Okay, so I think I get an old spear tip next, yeah? Usually against a deck like Status Nilfgaard, this deck wouldn't do so well, obviously, because, you know, you got all those poisons coming at you, and they usually want to target your big units. Oh, he has Geralt of Rivia. That's a good one.
Damn it.
That's a good one. Play Radeyah here. We'll get out
Closer, come.
Magic Lamp. Okay, so this doesn't trigger Thrive. Thrive is only when you play it, right? Yeah, it's when you play it. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. AT. Alright, that was a game, I suppose. That was a game. Alright, awesome. I don't want to play out both. I don't want to be that guy, you know? I could have probably 2-0'd just because of like how it was looking.